Trying to navigate a single step right now feels like moving through wet concrete. The shaking legs refuse to fire, making basic walking nearly impossible. This intense, localized paralysis occurs despite the absence of any medical emergency, broken bones, or torn ligaments. So how exactly does a healthy, athletic human body get reduced to heavy breathing and absolute exhaustion in under an hour? To understand how physical adaptation actually works, we have to look at how the body breaks itself down. Jump back 40 minutes to the start of the workout. The routine looks easy on paper, and the legs feel completely fine. This diagram shows a cross-section of a resting muscle fiber bundle. Notice how the actin and myosin filaments sit in tight, orderly rows. They are highly efficient and perfectly built for low-impact tasks like standing or light walking. But the human body is incredibly stingy with its energy. It prioritizes conservation above all else and refuses to build costly new muscle tissue for everyday movements. To force the body to upgrade this biological baseline, you have to subject it to a severe, artificial, mechanical emergency. That emergency starts with 50 deep squats and 20 lunges per leg. Look at this single muscle fiber. As heavy loads force the tissue to stretch far beyond its comfortable resting state, it experiences severe mechanical tension. As fibers struggle against the descending weight, their microscopic connection points physically fail, snapping and fraying. The central nervous system registers these thousands of tiny microtears and fires urgent alarm signals up the spinal cord. We process those signals as intense pain. These microtears mark the required, deliberate dismantling of the body's existing physical structure. Then the routine shifts to the wall set. The dynamic movements stop, but the strain peaks in a motionless, isometric hold. Continuous contraction causes the tight muscle walls to physically trap local blood flow, creating metabolic stress that rapidly drains cellular oxygen. Without fresh oxygen, there is a rapid accumulation of metabolic waste inside the restricted tissue, specifically lactic acid. This acidic buildup chemically burns the surrounding tissue and directly interferes with the muscle's mechanical ability to stay contracted. That deep, familiar burning sensation is a chemical blockade. The muscle's internal environment has become highly toxic to its own function. The final push is the jump squat. This is the explosive breaking point designed to force the body over its biological edge. At this stage, neuromuscular fatigue sets in. The communication lines between the nervous system and the damaged muscle fibers begin to misfire desperately. The visible shaking in the legs is the brain panicking, frantically trying to recruit fresh, unused motor units as the exhausted ones drop off. Then comes absolute muscular failure. The muscle chemically and mechanically refuses to fire a single additional time, and the body collapses to the floor. Hitting that total failure is the entire objective of the workout. It delivers an undeniable evolutionary signal to the brain that the body's current physical capacity is insufficient for survival. Fast forward to the next morning. The intense stiffness sets in, making every attempted step excruciating. This specific pain is called delayed onset muscle soreness, or DOMS, and it biologically peaks 24 to 48 hours after the initial trauma. This line graph maps out the root cause. Notice the massive inflammatory response, rushing fluid, white blood cells, and nutrients straight into the microtears created the day before. This inflammation acts as a biological cleanup crew, clearing debris to prepare the site for construction, a process distinct from a joint or tendon injury. The morning after soreness serves as undeniable chemical evidence that the rebuilding process has successfully begun. You look in the mirror, acknowledging the physical stiffness, but focusing on the internal biological outcome. During deep rest, the body systematically overcompensates for the recent trauma through a mechanism called hypertrophy. Watch this diagram closely as specialized cells fuse the torn muscle fibers back together. They add new cellular proteins, resulting in a strand that is significantly thicker and denser than it was yesterday. This cellular fortification serves one straightforward evolutionary purpose, ensuring that this exact same level of physical stress will not be able to destroy the muscle again. The temporary agony of leg day is the exact mandatory biological price of power. Follow along to see the physical results of this transformation in 1 week.